I want to remind everybody that, who doesn't know what my show is about, okay? So I do a radio talk show. I do a podcast show where I address social issues. I usually do social. I don't touch in political too much, but I do dibble and dabble in that area. But mainly I deal in everyday life experiences, things that affect people, things that I have experienced in my life, and things that I have seen other people experience in their lives. So that is what Miss Ross Radio is about. I do not do a lot of talking about celebrities. I do try and talk and address celebrity headlines that I feel are relevant to our lifestyles and relevant to our living, and that are related to the experiences that I may have had or you may have had. I don't too much get into the gossip of celebrities. I leave that up for the bigger outlets like TMZ, the bigger radio outlets, iHeartRadio. They're pretty much giving you that information. And if I do talk about it, I usually quote or share their blogs anyways. It doesn't make any sense for me to do work that somebody else has already done. I live by the motto, I don't want to work harder, I want to work smarter. So if they've already done the work, I'll share with you guys the article and, bring it to you that way. But no, I'm not about to waste hours writing up a story that someone else has already written for me, okay? So for those of you who didn't know that part. Now, I want to also remind everyone, I wrote notes here too because I get sidetracked a lot. I wanted to also remind everyone that my radio show is all about tearing down stereotypes, all right, and proving them wrong. At the same time, I like to empower people, not necessarily just women, but men, because I feel our men definitely need empowering, they need uplifting, they need encouraging as well as women. So I empower and uplift us people, humans, okay? That is also what my show is about. I also take pride, and I pride myself on opening people's mind. So people that I feel that are asleep, on reality, I try and wake them up. Try and get them to see things from a different perspective and from a different point of view. Now, I must reiterate the fact that, and a great point, in order for me to open your mind, you have to come on my videos already having an open mind, okay? Like a willingness to have your mind open, if that makes any sense to any of you. Like, say for instance, sometimes when my mind is set on certain things, I have a hard time listening to what people have to say because I've already concluded what I believe is fact. And I do that sometimes in areas of where I feel like I know what I'm talking about. But what I have trained myself to do, I listen. Even though I've already formed my opinion of things, I now just listen. Even if it's something somebody is telling me that I already know, or I feel as though I already know where they're going with it, I still try and listen. Because sometimes it could be that one word or that one paragraph or paraphrase or sentence that opened my mind to a whole new avenue or idea of things. So even though it could be something I already know, I tend to listen to people with an open mind now, because like I said, a lot of people have shed light on a lot of my beliefs, on a lot of things that I have been just stuck on. Like, you can't change my mind from this. I don't care what you say. I'm not listening to you. But when I decided to just listen, you know what do I have to lose except a few minutes of my time to gain knowledge that could possibly change my life? So I decided that I would not only be someone that provides information, but also someone that is more willing to receive information, okay? Even if I've done my own research, because like I said, a lot of people will open your eyes to different things, and you know, you'll be able to see them differently, which will allow you to make better decisions, better choices, and come up with your conclusions more accurately, so that you can, you know, apply that to your life and make better decisions. Okay, so I want to address the fact that a lot of women, which I'm not surprised, a lot of women were really in their feelings about my comment. I have a lot of videos on YouTube, and sometimes I get these notifications, and these videos are like very old, like 2, 3, 4 years old. So I'll get like YouTube notifications, and you know, it'll say someone left you a message. My messages are not, the comments I don't think on my videos are public. I don't think I have them public as of now, because I'm waiting to get a few more, and then I'll, you know, make them public to everybody else. But so a lot of women are in their feelings about how I feel in regards to side chicks and side dudes. And I don't know why people, yes I do know why people are threatened by those terms. Anything, and I stated this before, anything that threatens someone's livelihood, their position in life, whether it be in a relationship, on a job, you know, whether it be being the first ones to get tickets to a concert, anything that threatens you offends you, okay? And anything that you lack understanding in is going to offend you and will also threaten you. Now, women have, like, okay, I don't even want to jump to that part right now. Like, I have all these notes right here. So I'll jump on this part. So I'm in a Facebook group, and so there was a lady that posted up that she provides counseling for women who want to acquire self-confidence. You know, basically she's going to show you how to be more confident in yourself, to where you're not threatened by other women. And I think it's a great idea, because a lot of women are insecure. They don't have self-confidence. They need a man, or they need someone to constantly tell them, you know, how they look, and, you know, tell them nice things to make them feel confident about themselves. But believe it or not, you can boost your own confidence every day. I do it every day. I walk out the house. I get dressed. Like now, I'm rocking my natural. And I looked in the mirror and I said, girl, you rock. You know, black girl magic. You know, your melanin is popping. You know, you're natural. It looks good on you. You know, and so you have to learn how to build yourself up. But even with building yourself up, you got to still have that belief in yourself that what you are saying is actually true. Because if you don't believe what you're saying, it's not going to help your confidence. So I have to believe that I am beautiful. I have to see it for myself. You know, I have to be able to look in the mirror, and I have to be able to see every aspect of beauty that, you know, glistens off of me or radiates off of me. You know, no one else can tell me I'm beautiful enough to where I believe it. I have to believe it coming from myself first, which that comes from self-love. So if you don't love yourself, it's going to be hard for you to tell yourself all the good things that yourself needs to hear. For example, if a man doesn't love you, it's going to be hard for him to tell you he loves you. If a woman doesn't love you, it's going to be hard for her to tell you she loves you, because she's hesitant to walk in that truth because it's not really her truth. So it's the same way with you having self-confidence in yourself. You have to know that it is true, and you have to believe it. All right. So For all the women who are very upset with me in regards to how I feel about, number one, people living their lives, number two, side chicks and side dudes, your problem is not with what I believe, because see, I have a right to believe what I want to believe. I have a right to live my life according to my beliefs and not yours. I have a right to live my life according to my standards that I set out for my life and not your standards. And I think that's where a lot of you are upset, because I refuse to live inside the box. I live outside of this box that you are stuck in. And because you lack understanding as to why I have chosen to get outside of this box, you are not mature. You have not reached that level of maturity to even understand or comprehend, why am I outside of this box in which society has placed us all in? I used to be inside that box. I used to be you. I used to be a woman that was insecure. I used to be a woman that felt that if a man was faithful to me, that he really loved me. I used to be one of these women that felt as if a man put his hands on me, he loved me. So I was inside of a few of those boxes that society has, you know, placed us in. And everything within the box is according to society and the standard of society and what society believes. See, society believes we are supposed to be doing this in this way and in that order and in this day and time. Just like society says you what? And I never really even understood this. You can't wear white after Labor Day, I think it is. Before Labor Day, after Labor Day, I don't care. I've worn white all year. Again, because I never got into following the leader of whomever is in control of our society. Your society. Because I live according to my own. But anyways, I want to say this to you women. And you don't know this yet. Okay? And just because you don't know it, don't mean that it's not true. There is a part of you that lack security. You're not fully and completely secure with yourself. And if you are threatened by anybody that is doing anything that is opposed to your relationship or your marriage, you're not secure in your relationship either. Because I've stated this before, where I believe that no one or nothing can threaten you or make you feel as though you're going to lose your relationship just because they choose to engage in an act that goes against the values and the morals and the principles of what society says a relationship is and what society says how a relationship should operate. So anybody that goes against the grain of society standards, which are the rules and the vows of a relationship, that should not bother you and it shouldn't affect you. It only bothers you and it affects you and it makes you, you know, you get offended and a lot of you get angry and you take it personal because you take it as a personal attack against your relationship, even though people have no clue of who you are. They don't even know you. They've never met you a day in your life. They don't know your husband. They don't know your wife. They don't know who your social circle is. They don't know you. They're simply living their life the way that they have decided, which makes them happy. Just like you have decided that living your life according to society and the rules that society has laid out for us makes you happy. But the difference in the way that they're living their lives and the way that you're choosing to live your life is that you're offended and you're threatened by how they live their life. They could care less about how you're living yours because they are secure with themselves. Nothing you do And nothing you say is going to affect their livelihood and affect the way that they choose to live their lives, because they realized a long time ago that they have no reason to be threatened by anyone. These are secure people. I'm one of these people. I do not get offended. I am not threatened. And I tell people all the time, I am not easily intimidated. It would take a lot to intimidate me. Like, I honestly, couldn't even tell you right now an example of what could intimidate me, because I'm so secure of who I am. And number one, I trained myself to love myself. So I gave myself time to find out who I was. Okay, I got to know myself. I realized what I didn't want in my life. I realized, what I didn't have to accept. I accepted that I was going to lose people. And I accepted the new ones that entered into my life. So it took a lot of self-evaluating for me to even get to this mental point in my life of where I think the way that I think now. And like I said, it came with about 4 or 5 years of self-evaluating and getting, dusting off that insecurity that I had sitting on my shoulders, and also facing my fears of losing people that I loved, and losing people that I wanted in my life, and losing people that I respected and valued and looked up to, because once you start coming into your own understanding in life, you're going to lose people. You're going to lose your mentors. You're going to lose your counselors, because see, they don't believe what you believe now. And the whole time that you had been friends with them, or that you had been associating yourself with them, remember, think back. It's only because you were living your life according to what they believed, not because of what you believed. You were living your life and going through life based off of their direction, their thoughts, their assumptions, and their expectations. But once you come to a position in your life where you no longer want to follow the rules, or you start to, undo everything that had been done in your life, like say, for instance, for me, religion. I grew up very religious. But as I got older and started researching religion and the origins of religion, and studying Africa, and, studying, where all of this stuff came from, is when I decided that I am no longer religious. I am spiritual. I believe in God. I question the Bible, and I question, the stories in the Bible, because common sense that I have, and the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding that I have, shows me, doesn't tell me, it shows me that the Bible is just riddled with contradictions. So the first contradiction that I found, which didn't make any sense to me, and I'm the type of person where if something doesn't make sense, then that means it's not right. If something doesn't sound right, it's 9 times out of 10 a lie, or somebody left something out. And that is how I feel about the Bible. There's a lot that is not there. There's a lot that have been taken away. And there's a lot that people have added to suit their own lifestyles, or suit their own beliefs, or to suit their own understandings of things, in which we do it today. So if we do it today, what makes us think that the ones that were put on this earth before us didn't do the same thing? So those are like the first, things that I noticed. So, and I'm not going to get into the religion part right now, but to go back to why people are threatened by the way people, may go about their everyday lives. And I don't really care how you want to justify it. I don't care what you tell yourself. I don't care what you say up under this video, to try to explain why you feel the way you feel. You feel that way. Keep in mind that every reaction to things that we experience in life is a feeling, okay? It comes from a feeling. And where do feelings come from? Like, why would we feel a certain type of way? You know, why would we have these feelings of anger and, you know, disappointment, you know, intimidation, jealousy, envy? You know, why do we feel anything? It is because there is an area in our life, and we don't know what that area is. We don't know where it's coming from as of yet. And it is called insecure. Okay, insecure means you are not secure with whatever you believe is true, or, you know, you're not secure with whatever you think you are, or who you think you are, of who you think you are. I think I'm saying that right. So the insecurity means, like, it could be any area. You're just not secure. You're not sure. Okay? Yeah, I think that's the word. You're not sure. And you're not sure because you don't know. Okay? You don't know. And you don't know because you've been given signs. You've seen the signs. You've had intuitions. And you can't, you know, you can't guarantee that someone else is thinking the same way that you're thinking, because we don't know what people are thinking in their heads. We could be sitting right next to our mate, and we could be saying to our mate, I love you so much. But there's still that curiosity as to how they really feel. What is really going on in their head at that very moment when you're pouring out your heart and you're saying, I love you. Are they reciprocating that? Are they really, is that the first thought that came to their mind? Because you're not sure, it leaves a sense of insecurity. And then sometimes the way people respond, you know, lets you know how they really feel. And when you start to find out how people truly feel, this is why you become insecure. And a lot of us, and I've done it in my past, a lot of you, I say us because I've done it, but I'm addressing you guys now because I'm single and I'm not in the situation. But a lot of you are holding on to situations and relationships that you're not sure of. And the fact that you're not sure of the relationship because you're not sure of the type of person that you are with, you're not sure if this person is or is not capable of doing something. This is what gives you that insecurity. This is where the insecurity comes in. And this is what makes you insecure. Because that is just how things operate. Like, if I'm not sure of my position at this radio station, or if I'm not sure of my responsibilities, and if I'm not sure of what it is I'm supposed to be doing here, it's going to leave a sense of insecurity that is in me. And that insecurity is going to pour out in the form of being offended or threatened by anyone else that comes through the door that knows and is secure and sure of what it is they're supposed to be doing here. So that is where I would become threatened by that person. And I become threatened by that person because that person knows how to do my job. I'm not sure of how to do my job. So now that person threatens my position here at this radio station because he or she could possibly get my job. Because if my boss, you know, see this, and we know employers, every job that you know get hired on, they're looking for someone that knows how to do the job. This is why they put the job responsibilities and duties inside of the job description. And this is why they ask you, do you know how to do X, Y, and Z? Because they want you to come in and start making money for the company. They don't want to have you come in and they're paying to babysit you. So if they find somebody else that actually knows what they're doing without them having to stand over your shoulders every day, they're going to let you go, and they're going to replace you with the person that do not need them standing over their shoulders every day and that actually knows what the hell they're doing. And this is what a lot of you are going through in your relationships and in your marriages. You're only threatened by anybody on the outside of your relationship because you are insecure, because you don't really you're not quite sure of your position in your own relationship. And even in your marriages, you still don't know your position. You still don't know if your mate is capable of. And see, that is the part that leaves all the questions and start to make you not trust and start to putting your, throwing your mind into, overload. Because now you're trying to figure out not only where you stand in your relationship, but you're trying to figure out your mate and what is going on in their head. So you got a million things going on right now. Who is this person? Where do I stand? Is this going to work out? Do I even want it to work out? You're starting to have all these emotions, and they will begin to overwhelm you. And when that happens, boom, you're insecure because you're not sure. And this is what is going on. So listen, I wrote some notes, okay? So if you engage in a situation or entertain someone who's in a relationship, I want to let all women know, and this goes for men too, because like I say, I try and uplift, empower, and encourage humans, okay, men and women, because believe it or not, ladies, men are going through these things too with women. All right, the whole side chick and side dude, I spoke on this, I talked about it, and I stand firmly on it. Just because you decide that you are going to engage in a situation with someone who is already taken, a married man, a married woman, someone who's in a relationship, engaged, or whatever the case may be. First off, remind yourself that you did not make this decision by yourself, okay? Someone had to invite you into their relationship. You just decided that you were going to accept the invitation. But there were two people at play here, okay? It takes two to tango. Now, just because you decided to take the back seat, I'll say it like that, because remember, wifey is in the front seat, all right? The girlfriend is in the front seat. The boyfriend is in the front seat. The husband is in the front seat. So you decided you're going to take the back seat. Now, just because you decide to take the back seat does not mean you are automatically required to take any type of treatment from the person that you accepted the invitation from. Because this is where you have to start loving yourself, okay? This is where your self-evaluating comes in. This is where you value yourself, all right? This is where this will come in. And I tell women this all the time because this is how I am. And I don't care I don't care who doesn't like it and who disagrees. This is how I live my life, and this is how I get treated with respect because I demand it. I demand it. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you're in a relationship. If you approach me and you say, I want you in my life, I want to get to know you better, and if I decide that that's what I'm going to do, then you best believe that I'm going to lay down every one of my rules and guidelines as to how you would not treat me. Because keep in mind, the privilege is not yours. It's the other partner. It's the other person. Okay, so it is a privilege for them to be in your life. All right, and I wrote some real cool side notes here for what I just said. Okay, so let me get back to what I was saying. So if you engage in a situation or entertain someone who's in a relationship, you make sure that you call all the shots. Because it's a privilege for them, not you. They're the one wanting to make you their extracurricular activity. Remember that. You are the extracurricular activity. Look at yourself as an amenity. those cost extra, right? Amenities always cost extra. If you book a suite somewhere in South Beach, they have their general price of what it would cost for this packet. But if you want to add heated pool, heated jacuzzi, room service, all of that is an extra luxury. Okay, all of that is an amenity, and that comes at an additional cost. They're not just going to give that to you. Okay, this is how you need to start looking at yourself when you put yourselves in these situations with these people who are supposed to already be happy in their relationships. Okay, so don't, you're already taking the back seat, but that doesn't mean you have to take the back heat. Okay, meaning you're going to be back there in the heat and they're up front in the AC. No, the AC needs to be blowing on you too. All right, because like I said, they want you in their life. Obviously, something is going on in their relationship to where they even want you entertaining any parts of their relationship or being a part of their relationship. All right. So because they want that extra added amenity, then they have to work for it. All right. They have to do the right things to acquire it, because